Welcome to New York! We're here in Washington Square Park, and today we're going to compare 3 different ways to experience the Big Apple.
Budget, mid-range, and deluxe.
I'll be covering budget for all of you frugal travelers out there.
I'll be covering luxe travel for all of you with a little more money to spend.
And I'll be doing mid-range for those of you who fall somewhere in the middle. And by the end of the day, you'll have everything you need to build your perfect day in the Big Apple.
You guys ready?
Let's do it.
So today I am going to be walking or taking public transportation. The good news for me is that New York has one of the most well-connected public transportation networks in the country, if not the world. So the subway costs $2.75 per single ride, or you can decide to book in bulk and get a Metro card for $33 per week for unlimited rides. The good news is that in New York, you can use your phone to tap and pay on the go.
A quintessentially New York way to get around the city is in the yellow taxi cab. These obviously more expensive than the MTA subway, but are often more affordable than an Uber or a Lyft. There are yellow taxi cabs nearly everywhere in New York, so it's normally never an issue trying to hail one so that you can make it on time to your next activity.
Since I'm on a baller budget this trip, I'm going to be taking Uber Black, which is like an elevated service. You get nicer cars, black cars. They're usually like an Escalade or something fancy like that, like a nice town car. And it's a great way to get around the city if you have the means. With Uber Black, you get super nice car. I got room to spread out in, even though I'm by myself right now. Fancy leather seats. Before you even get in the car, you can make a preference and say, I'm fine to have a conversation with the driver, what you want the settings to be like for the temperature. It's just like super comfy. So it's a nice place to kick back and relax for a bit.
I am in the heart of Manhattan at Central Park, which is one of the largest parks in the city. It spans 843 acres total, and you'll find everything here from places to picnic out on open lawns to woodlands. There are jogging paths, bike paths, literally everything that you could want is here. So let's take a stroll around the park and visit some of my favorite spots. It is absolutely beautiful out. I think what makes Central Park so special, at least to me, is that it definitely feels like you're kind of in a different place, right? Like you're surrounded on all sides by Manhattan and these amazing skyscrapers, and yet within the park, it's kind of serene. And the best part, it's free. There are lots of tours you can pay. People will walk you through the parks, talk about the history, talk about the different locations. There's also audio guided tours, so all around the park there are places where you can scan a QR code and I'll tell you a bit about where you're at and kind of tour yourself through the park if that's something that you're interested in. Personally, I like to just walk and see where the day takes me.
Just step foot now on Ellis Island, another prominent U.S. landmark that is known for being an immigrant processing facility active from the 1890s all the way to the 1950s, in which time nearly 12 million immigrants were processed under U.S. federal law. Immigrants would enter into the facility and queue up in this large open hallway and then check their baggage, often these sort of big crates behind me, with a baggage handling service where they could ship them to their final destination here in the States. Standing now in the registry room, This is where nearly 5,000 people a day would come through these doors and line up in order to be processed. And it's been restored to look as closely as possible to it did centuries ago. And it is really, really grand. Here behind the registry hall, you can see exhibits that walk you through all the facilities that it used to exist on Ellis Island back in the day. There were dining facilities, public health facilities, and even detention facilities. I'm really struck by how New York truly is a melting pot, and that history is captured perfectly here.
So I'm here in Sunset Park, Brooklyn at Industry City. This place is like a massive assortment of warehouses, different places to come eat. There are food halls, bars, distilleries, tons of shops. There's so much for you to do here. You can spend a day, you can spend a few hours, and I promise you there's something for everyone, especially if you love art and if you love to shop, or if you're like me, you love to eat and drink. It's super fun here in Industry City because you can pop into places like Sahadi's, which is like a grocery store situation. They have like a wine store. You can go to designer furniture stores. There's a game room for kids or adults. There's just really something for everyone. It's like a fun place to just come spend a couple hours. I'm in this Japanese market and I'm so overwhelmed with adorable snacks and treats, all different kinds of flavors that I've never heard of before. I think I'm probably gonna try to buy this place out. I'm a chocolate fool. I went and got some chocolate covered pretzels. I'm very overwhelmed because you can literally get everything here. My favorites, Japanese food, chocolate, whiskey. I think I'm all set. I definitely have spent some money on all the things that I bought. The food and the drinks, it was like not ridiculous, but all in all, spent more than I thought I would, but that's just because there's so many good things that I wanted to take home with me.
We are here on Malcolm X Boulevard in the heart of Bed-Stuy in Brooklyn, about to head up Turtles All the Way Down, which is a local fan favorite bar. They've got two turtles. They race on the first Sunday of every month. So we are going to check out some casual, cheap drinks and see how it goes. So, hands down, the coolest thing is the turtles. You can see them back there, swimming around. Okay, I changed my mind. Originally, I said the turtles were my favorite part of the bar, and don't get me wrong, they're a highlight, but I think this bourbon sweet tea might take the cake. I think it might be my favorite thing about the bar. It's so good. This is like dangerously good. And it's only $10 and it comes in this massive cup, like straight out of a 90s Pizza Hut.
We're here now at Pinrose on the Upper East Side. It's a cozy spot for cocktails and bar bites. The general vibe here is super rustic and charming. There's lots of exposed brick, oil paintings, lots of leather textures. Really lovely. You could see lots of first dates happening here. Apparently they do a lot of their own infusing here with their spirits. For example, the Afterglow is apparently a cocktail that stays on the menu here year-round. And it's got that house strawberry infused vodka, pamplemousse, pisco lemon, red zinger, and house grenadine. Sounds like a must try. Whoa. That is incredible. I think a lot of times when I order fruity drinks, I can like already feel a headache coming on, but this one just feels like light, fruity, refreshing, lovely.
So now I'm at Fort Hamilton Distillery. I'm still at Industry City, so like I said, if this is a place you want to come spend a whole day or a few hours, make sure you stop for some local drinks. They're all crafted right here. I'm gonna take you inside and show you what it's all about. This place is huge. There's lots of different areas. The vibes are sick, and I could definitely see myself spending more than just a few drinks worth of time here. I decided to go for the flight. I've got 5 little drinks in front of me, from gin to cask strength rye. So just gonna kind of do a little taste test. I'm not a pro, that's why you need to come here and let them explain it to you. I'm probably just gonna say it's all great anyway. Taking a water break. Woo! Packs a punch, but it's great. And with that, I think I might switch to a cocktail. Inside scoop, maybe one of the best kept secrets is they also have their own maple syrup. I'm gonna take a shot. It's aged for 6 months in one of the bourbon barrels. You know, I never thought I was gonna take a shot of maple syrup, but I think that's the best way to chase basically 5 ounces of liquor. Cuts right through. Great way to end. And with that, I think I might switch to a cocktail. I asked the bartender, what's the drink of choice here? He said, go with the espresso martini. It's made with one of their double-aged bourbons. That delicious 6-month aged maple syrup that sits in the barrels. And I'm gonna get my caffeine and bourbon fix. You know what? I might just play a little pool. Cheers. Okay, on my way out, overall, lovely experience. I think it's the kind of place where you could go kick back with some friends for a few hours, spend about $16 on an espresso martini, 20 bucks for the flight, and it was absolutely worth it. And now I still have a whole day ahead of me.
One thing New York City does really well is food carts. So if you're looking for some cheap eats while you're on the go, you have tons of options, from halal food to pizza to bagels to Mexican food, everything in between. I am walking down 6th Ave and I see like 5 food carts in a 1-block radius. Cannot wait to try it out.
We're here at Russ and Daughters in Lower Manhattan on East Houston Street. It is busy and bustling in here today, but it smells absolutely amazing and looks straight out of the 1950s still. On the side over here, they've got all of the bagels and like sort of lunch foods that you can get. And then over here, they've got all of the desserts and kind of things you can buy by the pound. There are 3 main rules here. Take a number, don't block the door, and listen for when you're called. I'm gonna go with the classic, which is scallion cream cheese, lox.
I'm downtown, I'm in Fide here in New York City. Wall Street's back behind me, the stock exchange. I'm here in the Art Deco lobby of 70 Pine Street, which is a historic Art Deco building, classic New York style, absolutely gorgeous. And I'm going into Crown Shy to check out the European influenced, like European technique flavors of Chef James Kent. I am so hungry, I cannot wait to check it out.
I picked up some halal food. I got this massive chicken gyro for just $12. So much bang for your buck. Comes with chicken, with veggies, lettuce, sauce. So I cannot wait to try it out.
You ready for this? Wow. Time for the first bite. Oh wow. That's checking all the boxes. So for my bagel here at Russ and Daughters, it costs $16, $18.92 with tax all in. And for New York City, that's a really great lunch cost right there, especially when you consider everything you're getting on this incredible bagel. It's got the cream cheese, the lox, the tomato, capers, onions, on an incredibly baked bagel. And then when you factor in the reputation of the place and all the awards that it's won, $16 honestly feels like a steal.
The food was very interesting. It was so good. It wasn't these usual flavors and like textures that I was expecting. I had these giant prawns that had, I think, chorizo with them, delicious. Oysters with these little fine cut jalapenos, but the knockout dish was the dessert. This like caramelized burnt banana situation that I will think about probably for the next 2 weeks. The lighting was dark, it was moody. All in all, I'm gonna say Crown Shy was worth the money. Had a great meal, and now I need to get my Uber Black.
I am in Times Square, Manhattan, home to the absolute best shows in the world. But if you don't want to shell out the money for a Broadway show, they are not the only game in town. You can also check out a comedy show. So there are vendors set up all over Times Square where you can get a same-day ticket to a show tonight, and that is what I'm gonna do. So let's find a vendor and see if I can catch myself a show.
We're here now at New World Stages on 50th Street, just outside of Times Square. Here they show like a rotating cast of different shows throughout the week. And tonight I'm super excited to see The Play That Goes Wrong, a play within a play about a drama group putting on their version of a whodunit, where you guessed it, everything goes wrong. And in this play that looks like props falling apart, missed cues, etc., etc. And because of all of this inventive scenery, it actually won a Tony back in 2017. Let's go check it out.
I'm here outside the Lunt-Fontanne Theater. I don't know if that's how you say it, but that's how I'm gonna say it. Here to see one of the hottest shows in town, Sweeney Todd the Musical, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. It has returned to Broadway. Everyone says it's amazing. It's starring Josh Groban in the titular role. We've got Annalee Ashford, big cast, other stars. It's gonna be amazing. Broadway is one of the best parts of New York City, and I can't believe we're gonna go see this show.
We are above the East River right now on the Brooklyn Bridge, one of the most iconic photo spots in all of New York City. I mean, look at this view. It is such a beautiful piece of architecture and history in New York, overlooking the skyline of both Brooklyn and Manhattan. Over 100,000 vehicles make the trek across the bridge every single day, which is absolutely wild. And of course, a ton of tourists and locals alike also cross the bridge every single day. The pedestrian walking path on the bridge is actually just over 1.5 miles long. It takes about 30 minutes depending on your pace and how frequently you stop for photos. It's a really great way to get your steps in for the day.
So we're on the way to the Statue of Liberty. You can see it here behind me. Currently on a ferry boat where I can see the skyline of New York City and also New Jersey. First stop is Liberty Island. So walking on to Liberty Island right now. We are the first boat of the day and currently standing basically in the shadow of the statue over here, and it is so much taller than you expect it to be. I'm already kind of taken aback at how beautiful it is up close. To see either the pedestal or the crown, you need to book tickets in advance, and to get those for the pedestal, you're all right booking a few days in advance or getting on one of those first few ferries over in the morning. But to get those coveted tickets up to the crown, you're gonna wanna book about 3 months in advance. They go quick. We're gonna go check out the pedestal. Let's see what it's like. Headed up to the top of the pedestal. You can take the stairs or the elevator. About here, only 176 steps to go from here to here. I live in a 5th floor walk-up, so this is just like walking up to my apartment. We've made it here to the top of the pedestal of the Statue of Liberty. You can see it here above me, and there are incredible 360 views of New York and New Jersey. It is just a really, really nice way to take in the city. It's way too easy to take all the history and culture of New York for granted, but being out here and zooming out a bit really puts it all into perspective. Even if you're not able to score those tickets to the pedestal or those reservations all the way up to the crown, there is the Statue of Liberty Museum where you can see the original torch from the original statue, as well as the original face of the Lady of Liberty. There's also these incredible sweeping views of New York and New Jersey, so plenty to see on Liberty Island even if you can't make it all the way up to the statue.
So I'm up here at One Vanderbilt. I'm going to the top summit at One Vanderbilt. It's like New York's newest experiential observation deck. There's interior elements, there's an exterior element on the top. Everyone's been talking about it. If you've seen Instagram, this like room full of crazy mirrors, it's up there and I'm on my way. I'm in line to go up to Summit here at One Vanderbilt. You get to grab some sunglasses, put them on, it gets really bright on the way up. Have a lot of fun as you go. Right now I'm on the 92nd floor at Summit One Vanderbilt. This is the tallest tower here in Midtown Manhattan. Just to put it in perspective, you can see the Chrysler Building. We're up above it. The views are just absolutely crazy. I think at its tallest point, we're like 1,200 feet above the ground. If you are afraid of heights, woo! I've done every major observation deck here in New York City. This one is just extra cool. There are just mirrors everywhere. I mean, it's like an art installation in and of itself. You get the views of the city, yeah, but you also just have this insane people watching. Like, look at everyone just going. I don't even know what's going on. On the way out, the last thing that you can do here at Summit One Vanderbilt is walk out onto a ledge that's literally hanging up the side of the building, glass bottom, not for the faint of heart. I am so excited. Let's check it out. I'm kind of panicking, but I'm just gonna keep rolling with it. The inside was great, but honestly, once you get out, there's an outdoor terrace at the top. You can grab a glass of champagne. There's a full bar, and then just take in the views with a drink in your hand. Like, I can't think of anything better. Looking out at Times Square over here, Empire State Building back behind me. a cool breeze. Honestly, just like one of the coolest ways to see New York City. Cheers. I will say I feel pretty bougie right now. And we're back. Everyone had a great day here in New York City, but let's get right to it. Grand totals, drum roll please.
So on my budget day in New York, I spent $65 total.
On my luxury day here in New York City, I spent $821.
And in the mid-range, I spent $237.
So during my budget day in New York, I got to see the Brooklyn Bridge, Central Park. I got to experience this really cool dive bar out in Brooklyn. I did try the interesting experience of finding a comedy show in Times Square. And of course, I also got to end off the day with a Euro, which was super fun, from like one of the street carts. Very good. Took the subway and walked around for $65. So got to see the whole city, multiple boroughs, which was always nice. It was a lot of walking, but for the price, really can't beat it. So
nice. For my luxury day, I took Uber Blacks everywhere, which made me feel really fancy. I started in Industry City. I had a whiskey tasting at Fort Hamilton, which was a really awesome experience. Then I took my car uptown and I went to Summit One Vanderbilt for some of the best views of the city that I have ever seen. Highly, highly recommend. Then I even got to see Josh Groban in Sweeney Todd, which was amazing, and had a beautiful dinner at a restaurant called Crown Shy. It was a lot to do in one day, but it was so fun.
And then in the mid-range, I took a yellow taxi all over the city, went out to Ellis Island for a slice of culture, got to see the Statue of Liberty on the ferry on the way there, kept that ball rolling with the New York City bagel from Russ and Daughters. It was fantastic. Then I got to see a play that I've seen ads in the subway for forever, The Play That Goes Wrong, and then capped off the day with an incredible custom cocktail from the Pinrose up on the Upper West Side. Truly incredible day all around. Checked off a lot of bucket list items that, even having lived here for years, I've never taken the time to do, and would highly recommend for the price point.
So it sounds like we all had a really great day.
Yeah, and it just goes to show that no matter what your budget, you can experience everything that this incredible city has to offer.
That's all from us from New York City. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, like and subscribe. Till next time.